Mr. Siamad, I think we did a good job in organizing this workshop on the margins of Port Ghalib meeting of the parties, particularly to showcase methyl bromide phase out achievements of Egypt. And thanks to you that you did a good job to inspire countries to take early actions on methyl bromide phase out. But let's discuss about the key achievements that we discussed in the workshop.
Well, first of all, frankly speaking, the idea was not only to showcase the achievements of Egypt, but the achievements of a project that could show that we are having new alternatives that are fully replacing methyl bromide, that are satisfactory to the farmers, and that it could serve as a model not only in the region but elsewhere. As you have seen, on many years we have seen at the parties, the meeting of the parties calls for essential use exemption, in particular, for example, the strawberry sector.
That's right.
But we have demonstrated that in Egypt, and probably it's not just the case of Egypt, but in many other countries, alternatives to strawberry, but not only the strawberry, but also the runners, are feasible and working quite well.
One of the key highlights of this meeting, which I observed, was definitely something to do with the presence of Egyptian stakeholders. It was their project, and they had come to discuss its outcome, assess the situation, and tell us what exactly they have done in terms of methyl bromide phase out. Other aspect was it was well attended by methyl bromide MB talk members and also the experts related to the pesticide regulations, and that was something, a good mix of right kind of stakeholders. Apart from that, Mr. Siamad, I also felt that there was some innovative approach in a phase out. It's not just you are taking out methyl bromide and replacing it by another chemical which is not ozone depleting substances. And I felt that you should be telling about how this idea of utilizing non-chemical methods came in designing this project.
Yes, first of all, I would like to react on the issue of stakeholders in Egypt. Definitely, I think it's a very good example of a so-called country-driven approach that all the parties are calling for. And we have seen that there is a total ownership for this project from the Egyptian nationals and Egyptian experts. And there is a very solid expertise in Egypt. That is for the first point. Second point, from the very beginning, one has to say, the Egyptian farmers, who know their job very well, wanted to look for non-chemical alternatives. And that was something that was a challenge for all of us, I have to say. We have been calling on whatever knowledge was around in the world, and it took some courage as well to go for such alternatives that in the first place were not widely available. But again, with the national expertise, with this willingness to, let's say, to stay away from chemicals, I think we have achieved excellent results. And that is the reason why I'm saying this is a very good example, not only for Egypt, but also maybe for the region. And I believe that now we can really showcase those alternatives are very effective.
I totally agree with you. I think United Nations Environment Program would definitely like to see that what we do is not just replacing one chemical by another chemical, but trying to see that we have sustainable alternatives which do not use man-made chemicals. And I think some of the examples that UNIDO has assisted Egypt in setting up with the enthusiastic farmers and stakeholders in Egypt is something which need to be outreached. And I think UNEP is committed that such kind of sustainable agricultural alternatives and such kind of non-chemical alternatives should be shown to all the world. And one of the methods which UNEP is thinking of is not only to make simple case studies, which will be put on a web for everybody to see, but have some specific study tools where, from the countries who are still using methyl bromide in applications where Egypt has already successfully phased out.
Yeah, I cannot agree more, and this is why I was so happy that you were able to attend the workshop as well, to hear by yourself and to find out what is really going on in the field. And definitely I believe, and that is to be shared by the Egyptian government and the Egyptian authorities at large, they are always in agreement to showcase the results for their project anywhere else and to be part of a study to prove that those alternatives are very effective.
One of the things of this particular methyl bromide phase out project in Egypt is what is called as going beyond simple ozone layer protection. The phase out has definitely helped in protecting the ozone layer, but it has also given other environmental benefits which we have seen as a good examples of under the Montreal Protocol. The other benefit is by phasing out methyl bromide, we of course are eliminating the toxic substance, but by using non-chemical methods, we are also putting on the best practices for sustainable agriculture. And what surprises me most, C. Ahmed, is UNIDO is an industrial development organization. And you are really setting up a good example that agriculture is also another industry, and that industry can turn into what is called as a green industry, a green economy. And I think we should do more of such projects, and UNEP would really like to outreach such excellent examples to the outside world.
Definitely, I do believe that it's a very good example of green industry, and one should recall that UNIDO had always an agro-based, let's say, program. So no surprise that at the very beginning we wanted to come up with solutions that would be sustainable for the future. But also, all in all, we wanted to give examples of solutions that would stay away from chemicals, and so that the farmers are not always dependent on chemicals that they have to buy most of the time outside, that they have import. But now we have seen that, for example, they have been using straw balers. They have now greenhouses for producing rootstocks for grafting, and we're hoping that they will be even able to export the rootstocks outside of Egypt, which in itself is a big achievement.
I would certainly like to conclude by saying that UNEP would like to see such kind of a collaboration between UNEP and UNIDO, and also encouragement from UNIDO to the countries to use sustainable alternatives. That itself will show that Montreal Protocol is just not ozone layer protection treaty, but it is an environmental treaty, it is a sustainable development treaty.
Well, we have always welcomed the cooperation with UNEP. It's a long-standing cooperation. We have many examples around the world, Guatemala, Honduras, China, and other countries where we are collaborating on methyl bromide, but other programs as well. And I do hope that in the field of HPMPs, for example, UNIDO will come into the picture very soon to help especially low volume consuming countries in phasing out HCFCs together with UNEP.